So in this video I'm going to break down the scalping strategy that I use every single day, and I'm also going to show you how to use one very logical indicator that is going to be a total game changer. So let's get right into it. Before we get into it, you can see some of my profits, and you can see of course my trade recap channel where I just live trade. I show all of my losses, all of my wins, absolutely everything. So if you want to check it out, make sure to go down there, but after this video. So here is what your plan for 2026 should be. So you should be able to understand the market, so understand what you are doing in the market. Next thing is have one logical indicator. The one that I'm going to actually show you today, it's going to make so much sense once I show it to you. And the next thing is to easily avoid many losses, because when you have rules, when you have the strategy that is proven, and when you have the indicator that is based on logic, it's going to be easy to avoid losses. Okay, so let's start with the first thing that you need to understand in this strategy, and that is what is controlling the market. It's not kind of controlling, but how can we spot what market wants to actually do? So the first thing and the first step of this strategy is to learn what a fair value gap is. So this is a fair value gap. It is pretty simple. So all you need is 3 candlesticks. Everybody already knows this, but you can see 1, 2 and 3, and that's literally enough for us to create a fair value gap. All we are looking is from the first candlestick to the third candlestick's wick high and wick low to not be crossing over each other like this. So all you have to look for is these kinds of holes in the market. You can see one right here and then one right here. Of course, there is many more fair value gaps, but these two are specific. Why? Because you can see that market came back to it, retested it, pushed away. Then again came back to it, retested it and pushed away from it. So how can we actually make the difference between market retesting it and disrespecting it? So you can see market came to it and just kind of closed the body inside of it, so not below it, so it kind of respected it and just went away. And then here you can see how the market actually wicked below it, but what's important to us is that market came back and closed the body inside of it. So all we need to look for is the body closures. Same thing right here. You can see how many times market here wicked, but the point is it never closed below it. So this means that for right now, these fair value gaps that are pushing the market to the upside are still holding the market. So that's pretty important for us. So next thing is the other kind of fair value gaps, the ones that actually failed. And see right here, this is the first one that failed. So it's a normal fair value gap hole in the market, but you can see right here, this is the bottom of it. You can see that we closed with a body under it. So this fair value gap right here failed. And what is the market going to do? Market is going to go till the next liquidity. Now a new term, liquidity. Liquidity is simply every single high and every single low in the market. So this one right here, this one right here is liquidity, this low is liquidity, this high is liquidity, and then this low right here is liquidity. So every single, absolutely every single high and low in the market is liquidity. And I'm going to show you how we can know whether it's good liquidity or bad liquidity, and that's going to be used with an indicator. And also you can see right here we have another failed fair value gap. So we can see we closed above it. So this one was created while we were going to the downside, and then the market just spiked above it and closed above it. So what we are going to do, we are going to go for the next liquidity. And then after that we can see we have one more basically closure or disrespect of the fair value gap right here. So market was going to the downside, created a fair value gap that should push the market to the downside, but market did not want to do that. It closed above it, and what is going to happen after that? Market is going to go for the next liquidity. Now this is something that is going to kind of make sense and logic once I show it in the live market, because all we have to do in the market is look for the fair value gaps, so these holes in the market imbalances, and see whether the market is respecting them or disrespecting them. And now on the big question, what indicator are we going to use? So the indicator is going to be session highs and lows. And why is that important? Because session highs and lows are going to be very strong liquidity. So that is how we are going to determine whether the liquidity is strong or not. So usually the strongest liquidity in the market is going to be session high and low. And what exactly session highs and lows are we going to look at? They are going to be Asia session and London session. So right now I want to add that if you want to trade, let's say London session or Asia session is going to be the same thing, but you are just going to look at the session before that one. So if you want to trade the London session, you are only going to go purely off of the Asia session. So I'm going to teach you in the examples later how you can basically just use any session and whatever kind of combination of timing you want to trade this actual strategy. So right now, when we look at the market, before we saw what kind of side of the market was respecting. So we saw that market basically had a fair value gap right here that it respected towards the upside, so it went and swept this liquidity, which is an Asia high liquidity, and then after that we had another fair value gap right here that also respected the market right here and went onwards to the next liquidity point, which is a London high. So now what is left for us is we have London low right here and Asia low right here. So that is going to be the next liquidity that we want to target. So after we swept all of the session highs like this, our only target is going to be to the downside for these really powerful liquidities. So what we need to see is absolutely the same thing as I told you. We want to see a fair value gap like this one that is going to get closed below. So that means that market is no longer wanting to go to the upside, because if it wanted, it would just respect off of this fair value gap and close right here, leaving a wick like this, and just after that it will go to the upside. But since we didn't get that, we got the closure under it, market is clearly indicating to us that it wants to go to the next liquidity, which is that one right here, and this is what is going to happen, I would say about 85% of the time. So it's just a abnormally huge win rate because the strategy is so logical. And right now, without taking any more of your time, let's just get into actual example and show you the all combinations of the liquidity sweeps. And sometimes we are not going to get the picture perfect setup like this, but I'm still going to show you how you can profit on that. So the first thing of all, of course, you need to get the indicator. So this is going to be the indicator that I'm using. So you can see their name right here and you can see the creator, and all you need to do is just look up for it. And also this right here are my settings for the indicator. So I'm going to scroll through this, so you just need to literally just copy all of my settings. You can pause the video and everything, and that's gonna be it. And here's the second tab, so you can see absolutely everything. And after you're done with that, that's just done forever, so you don't need to ever adjust any of those because they will just save. And now on to the actual strategy. So for right now, it doesn't really matter what kind of time frame we are on, because we are still going to see session highs and lows. So all that is important right now is for us to see what kind of sweeps we are getting. So if we go back into time, I mean, we don't really have to, but if we just look back, you can see that the first liquidity that was swept right here is the Asia high. So for right now, we only have to the upside London high left, and to the downside we have both close left. So all you need to do is just take till the end, because I'll show you all kinds of combinations we can have, because it's not always going to be picture perfect like this. And I'm also going to show you how you can trade the different sessions. So right now all we have to do is just wait for the next sweep, so still not execute anything, because if we get the sweep of the downside right here, we are going to target the upside, because then we have only liquidity left right here. But the better outcome and the better thing is if we sweep the upside first, which is going to be the London high. So if we do this, then we are going to be left with two session lows down here, so it's going to be a better probability setup, and we are going to target both of them. So let's fast forward the market and see what the market is going to do. So we are on the 5-minute time frame right now, and as you can see, we actually swept to the upside first. So we have both Asia and London lows down here, so that's actually so perfect. So right now we are on the 5-minute time frame, and how are we going to enter the market and look for the fair value gaps? So always do it first on the 5-minute time frame, so mark out the last fair value gap like this. And now the really key thing is that the market is not always just going to reverse to the downside like this. Sometimes it's just going to maybe make some kind of structure to the upside, so you gotta actually be patient and wait for the setup for the inversion to actually happen. So let's see what the market is going to do right now. So you can see we are creating some kind of new fair value gaps to the upside. So let's see what is going to be the final fair value gap before we actually inverse the market. So you can see we made a new fair value gap right here, also a few ones down here, but this one is important. And let's see what is going to happen to the market right now. So market actually inversed this last fair value gap, so that is beautiful for us. And now what we have to do is we have to enter the market, put our stop loss above this fair value gap that we inversed, above this fair value gap that we closed below, and I like to put it on top of the candle. So what I do is if we do a single closure like this, I like to put my stop loss on the candle's high right here. And what do we target? So we target these liquidities right here. So if you zoom out, you can see we are in the setup from right here. We are targeting London and Asia low right now. So I'm going to move these fair value gaps out of the way, and let's see what is going to happen in the market. So market just started going to the downside, and let's see. So market in the end ended up hitting full TP, and it's also a huge risk to reward. So that's also a really good thing about this, because we can target huge targets, and they're going to be kind of like magnets in the markets, because it's just huge liquidity points that market is very likely going to sweep. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you what if you don't want to trade New York session, but you want to trade, let's say, after the Asia session. So I'm going to show you absolutely what to look for, and in the next example I'm going to show you what to do if we do not align perfectly with the both sweeps, and how to also enter from the different time frames. So let's see this. So right now we just closed the Asia session right here. We are really close to this low right here, so that's probably what's gonna be taken out. Let's see if I'm right. So there it is, we got it out of the market. So right now, as I told you guys, all we need to do is mark out the latest fair value gaps on the 5-minute time frame. So let's see if we are going to get the inversion, and there it is. So we beautifully closed above this fair value gap. So now we put our stop loss underneath the candle's low, as I told you, and we can target Asia high right here. So 2.14 risk to reward, that is pretty good risk to reward, and let's see whether the market will hit the TP or not. So right now we are just consolidating a bit, and let's see what will happen. And the London session opened there, and let's see, is the full TP going to get hit? And there it actually is. So you can see inside of the London session our TP got hit, so we needed just that little bit of volume to kick in to push us all the way up to here, and that is just a beautiful trade. So you can see that we just wanted to see sweep of the one side and then targeting another side of the Asia session. So pretty simple, except there is just not two sessions, but there is only one session liquidity that we are targeting and that we are waiting for us to sweep. Okay, so now we have came to a very interesting day. So as you can see, first if we look for what is taken and what is not taken, we see that we have Asia low right here, we have Asia high that is already swept, so we only have Asia low left, and then we have both London high and London low left. So what are we going to do right now? We are going to get either one of these scenarios. So we are either going to go to the downside, so we are going to do this, sweep the Asia low and then go target the London high, or the other scenario is going to be for us to go towards the London high and then to target Asia low and the London low. So this is the better scenario, because then we are targeting two liquidities and two session lows, but the other one is still pretty valid, but we are only going to target one session high, so a little bit less of liquidity. So let's actually see what the market is going to give us. So I'm on the 5-minute time frame as always, and let's see what the market is going to actually do. So there it is, a little bit of volume, and you can see that we just swept this low. So what right now? So we swept the London low, so right now we either get two scenarios. One is to go to the upside to target the downside, or the second one is going to be to go to the downside to sweep the Asia low to target the upside. So just either one of those has to happen. So let's say for which one. Okay, so looks like we are going to go to the downside, and there it is. So we just went and dumped to the downside, created some kind of fair value gaps, but right now I told you that I'm going to learn you how to enter from the different fair value gaps. So if I open, let's say, the 3-minute time frame, for right now we only have this one last fair value gap right here, and then if I open 2-minute fair value gap, so we go all the way down to the 1-minute, we also see that we have one fair value gap small right here, and we have one fair value gap right here. So it's a little bit more complicated than a 5-minute, but we are going to get kind of more refined entries with bigger risk to rewards. So we see on the 1-minute we don't have any new fair value gaps down here. So let's see what actually happens. So if we go to the upside, looks like we are just going to pump to the upside, and let's see what happens if I open the 2-minute time frame. And there it is. So we had a beautiful closure on the 2-minute time frame. So this one right here did not get inversed, and then the next one inversed both this fair value gap and this fair value gap. So what are we going to do? Enter the market right here, put the stop loss below the candle as I told you. And what are we going to do? We are going to target absolutely huge target to the upside. So this is going to be rarely that we get such a huge target, but let's see if this trade is actually going to play out if we play it. So we had a bit of drawdown right there, but what happened next is we just hit the TP perfectly. So 6.23 risk to reward. If this is a $100,000 account, this will be like more than $6,000, so just absolutely insane. And that's basically it for this video. But before you leave, I want to actually give you something for completely free, and that is the playbook of the strategy, of the scalping strategy that I just showed you. So a complete PDF of 10 pages where I just explain absolutely everything, all the rankings and everything about the setups. So if you want to claim that, go down there into the description and just claim it. Also, another thing, if you like the video, make sure to like, also leave a subscribe, and maybe share it with your friends, because that will help me a lot to just keep doing this amazing content for you guys and to show you all of this for completely free. And with all of that being said, I just hope you learned something valuable in this video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.